Hi, everyone, and welcome to the 5th annual Alex and JC Hermstead Trailblazer Award, recognizing outstanding efforts in the ALS community. I'm Valerie Estes with my co-host, Erin Fleming. Hi, Erin.
Hey, Valerie. I'm excited because the Trailblazer Awards have become a real tradition in the ALS community. And truly, who better to celebrate with us than our first guest, the mother of Alex and JC Hermstead, Leigh Hermstead. Hi, Leigh.
Hi, girls, and thanks for having me. It's great to see you.
You too. You're the mother of the original Trailblazers, your identical twin daughters.
My daughters, Alex and JC, were everything to their dad, my husband, Jeff, and me. They will always be our light and inspiration.
Right. And some who are watching this don't know the origin story of this award, and they really should. It begins back in 2005 when your 11-year-old daughter, Alex, went from thriving in school and on the softball field to suddenly losing strength in her arm out of nowhere. It rapidly progressed to where simple movements became difficult, and no one knew what was happening to Alex, doctors included.
That's true. Alex was perfectly healthy until she began having terrifying weakness. We took her to so many doctors and specialists, but no one could explain what was wrong until we spoke with Dr. Robert Brown. At the University of Massachusetts, Dr. Brown is a foremost genetics expert. He discovered Alex had a rare form of ALS called FUS ALS.
But wait a second. I thought ALS is a disease that strikes adults.
That's what was so shocking and unbelievable. Through Alex, Dr. Brown discovered a juvenile form of ALS. This juvenile form of ALS advances relentlessly. It was devastating and heartbreaking.
Leigh, was Alex the only child in the world to have this form of ALS?
No, Dr. Brown's discovery opened the floodgates. I had connected with other remarkable mothers on Facebook whose extraordinary teenage daughters had also been stricken by this cruel disease.
I always wondered, was it comforting in any way to connect with other moms on Facebook?
Yes and no. As a mom, you're completely shattered. ALS had taken our beautiful Alex. She lost her ability to move and breathe on her own. It all happened so fast. The helplessness was indescribable. It was a slow, piercing torture of the heart, knowing there was absolutely nothing we could do to fix it. Alex sadly passed on Valentine's Day in 2011 when she was just 17. Meeting other brave and selfless moms who had also experienced the same unspeakable loss, united together by our incredible children, brought a bond that forged in grief, pain, and love.
Now, that's kind of where Project ALS came into it. My sister Meredith saw the moms group on Facebook, and that's when you and Meredith connected.
Yes, and then Project ALS graciously invited all the FUS ALS moms to New York.
So I wasn't at that initial visit, and I remember regretting it because this meeting made such an impact on Meredith and Valerie. With all of you moms, and Leigh, your beautiful daughter, JC, she was so strong and healthy.
She was truly a cowgirl for the ages. I think JC was 24 when you all came to New York. While you were there, Project ALS introduced you to Dr. Neil Schneider at Columbia University. Neil had been making a lot of progress studying the FUS form of ALS. I thought it was so brave of you all to meet with him, to hear about his recent insights into the disease. You all who had already lost your daughters so cruelly.
There was so much emotion in New York. It was so great to finally hug everyone and to meet them in person. It was encouraging to meet Dr. Schneider and hear the promising information he shared with us. It felt hopeful because one day maybe other families with this genetic form could be saved.
Yeah, but JC and Alex were identical twins. Were you and Jeff concerned that JC would get FUS ALS?
It was always a fear. At the time, doctors thought that JC had escaped the diagnosis. She was in her 20s, so she was beyond the age that it usually happens. But still, On that trip to New York, when Dr. Schneider asked JC if she'd be willing to participate in research, JC said yes.
Right. Dr. Schneider said that his study of JC's skin samples might reveal whether she had the same genetic mutation as Alex. Given JC's age, it was unlikely, but the study would reveal all.
Unfortunately, reality coincided with the results of the study. Back at home, JC started having back trouble that November. That's when everything changed. While at my mom's that Christmas, I asked JC to go down the stairs. And the moment she did, a flood of emotion hit me. The unforgettable image of Alex climbing stairs when she first became sick. It's a memory that will haunt me forever. That is when I knew. And Dr. Schneider's study confirmed it. FUS ALS. It was a parent's worst nightmare again. JC was tragically diagnosed with FUS ALS the exact day Alex had died 8 years before. That's when JC, Jeff, and I called Project ALS. It was unbelievable to us. But researchers knew more about FUS ALS than ever before. Now they knew the gene. How about a therapy, a treatment, a medicine for JC?
At that time, Project ALS was already talking to ALS researchers about a potential therapy for FUS ALS. It was called an ASO, an antisense oligonucleotide, that was designed to decrease the mutant FUS protein. But now it just became a race against the clock for us to get that to JC. Before Dr. Schneider could give it to JC to try, our team had to show that the FUS ASO was safe and tolerable, that it could be manufactured to meet FDA specifications. And this is a process that usually takes years.
We asked Project ALS to work with us, and overnight, we built a phenomenal team. Dr. Brown, Dr. Schneider, the amazing Dr. Frank Bennett at Ionis Pharmaceuticals, Dr. Lauren Black, and her team at Charles River Labs. The team worked selflessly around the clock for JC, pioneering the first in-world treatment for FUS ALS. And we did it. In just 4 months, we changed history for FUS ALS treatment and made the impossible happen.
We did. And what's even more extraordinary for me is that JC knew her odds of the FUS ASO working at that point for her were slim.
Well, that gives you an idea of her bravery. Jeff, JC, and I came to New York while the disease continued to brutally surge through her. But she fought to do everything possible. But she also wanted to blaze a path with JC Fusion, giving hope to others around the world and ensuring that they could also benefit after her. On June 11, 2019, JC fearlessly received her very first dose of JC Fusion in New York City, becoming the first person in the world to do so.
I just want to underscore the incredible bravery of your daughter, JC, here. A cowgirl, her family, and an amazing team of experts who just threw in immediately to get JC Fusion, the FUS ASO, from an academic lab. It was really from an idea to an academic lab to clinical trial in just 4 months.
It's really unheard of. It was a crazy time that brought out the best in us at Project ALS and everyone involved. And that was inspired, Lori, by you and your family.
My girls. Their valiant spirit lives on in JC Fusion and this amazing award. Let's hope that JC Fusion saves lives in the future. Maybe this year.
I mean, on that note, we would be remiss not to note that the worldwide phase 3 clinical trial of JC Fusion, whose working official title, now that it's in a worldwide phase 3 clinical trial, is ulefnersen, was fully enrolled last year. And that means that we anticipate results from Ionis and its partner, the drug company Otsuka, this year. If they're positive, JC Fusion could be approved by regulators and made available to anyone diagnosed with FUS ALS in the future.
And I'm holding on to hope.
We are moving toward the finish line.
Cowgirl up, as JC said. We'll be sure to share the results of the trial when they read out. Now, I have the distinct honor of introducing the Erin and Leigh Vierstra Pioneer Award. The Pioneer Award honors an individual whose commitment to scientific discovery is accelerating ALS research and shaping a new future for the field. Like the Trailblazer Award, it honors the legacy of sisters, Erin and Leigh Vierstra, who, alongside their mother Karen, lost their lives to FUS ALS, and whose courage continues to inspire progress. Leigh was the recipient of our 2024 Alex and J.C. Hermstead Trailblazer Award, as well as the 2023 recipient of the Erin Vierstra Pioneer Award, which we have now named in honor of both sisters. Erin and Leigh faced ALS with extraordinary courage and a commitment to advancing JC Fusion side by side as sisters. Their strength was rooted in deep love for one another and a determination to help others. That same resolve lives on through their family, whose continued support of research carries Erin and Leigh's legacy forward today. Here's Erin and Leigh's story in their own words.
I'm Erin Vierstra. I was officially diagnosed March 13th of 2020.
My name is Leigh Vierstra, and I am a fifth-generation FUS genetic mutation carrier.
My family has a very long history with this terrible disease. My mother, she passed away from it at the age of 33. She had two sisters and a brother who also died of ALS, and my grandparents lost all of their children to this dreadful disease. I was really lucky in that I was diagnosed very quickly. And we were seeing Dr. Neil Schneider, who had an EAP for a treatment.
So when Dr. Schneider talked to us about a targeted FUS ASO drug called Fusion, thanks to J.C. Hermstead, Erin and the Vierstra family were thrilled.
Family's very scientific minded, and we got together and said, listen, this might not really help this generation, but let's look at it further and how what we're doing today can impact others.
We had something to hope for.
It's a long journey for our family, but we have a lot of hope in these new treatments and these trials. It all gives me hope that the community is galvanizing around each other, finally, and not operating these silos anymore. I think that really gives my family so much hope every day.
Now we want to recognize the work of an incredible young man, Jacob Harper.
I have infinite respect for Jacob.
Yeah, he's a force. And we are honored to present to Jacob the Erin and Leigh Vierstra Pioneer Award. The Pioneer Award honors an individual whose commitment to scientific discovery and to the researchers and clinicians driving it forward is accelerating ALS research and shaping a new future for the field. Like the Trailblazer Award, the Pioneer Award honors the legacy of sisters, Erin and Leigh Vierstra, who alongside their mother Karen lost their lives to FUS ALS, and whose courage continues to inspire progress in the ALS community. Congratulations, Jacob.
Thank you to Project ALS for this extraordinary honor. To be recognized as part of the Alex and J.C. Hermstead Rare Disease Trailblazer series, and to receive the Erin and Leigh Vierstra Pioneer Award is deeply humbling. I accept this award not just for myself, but for every family, every patient, and every advocate who continues to fight for an end to ALS. Living with a rare disease is not just about the challenges, it's about the courage to keep moving forward, the faith to believe in progress, and the determination to make sure our stories are heard. This award is a reminder that our voices matter, that our struggles are not invisible, and that our hope is powerful. I share this honor with my family, who have been my strength and my anchor. I share it with the researchers and scientists who dedicate their lives to finding answers. And I share it with the broader ALS and rare disease community, because every step forward is a collective victory. Every breakthrough is built on the resilience of countless individuals. This Pioneer Award is not just recognition, it is a call to action. It is a reminder that science and faith can walk hand in hand, that progress is possible when we refuse to give up, and that together we can move potential therapies forward. My hope is that this award shines a light on the urgency of rare disease research and inspires others to join us in this fight. Thank you again for this tremendous honor. I accept it with gratitude, with humility, and with a renewed commitment to keep pushing forward for every family touched by ALS and for the future we all believe in.
Thank you, Jacob. You know, Erin and Leigh Vierstra and Jacob all participated in the J.C. Fuson trial. Alex and J.C. have paved the way for so many diagnosed with FUS ALS.
It's true, their influence is felt worldwide. Alex and JC inspired a stunning scientific effort that wouldn't have happened without Dr. Schneider and Brown, Dr. Lauren Black in Charles River Labs, and Ionis. Project ALS was proud to have played a role in coordinating the original expert team, and we're so excited that the JC Fuson program started by this team will incredibly read out a phase 3 clinical trial this year.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's very, very exciting. It's profound. And now, for the moment we've been waiting for, to present the 5th annual Alex and J.C. Hermstead Trailblazer Award, I give you Lori Hermstead.
Alex paved the way, and JC carried the torch. Our daughters showed us what fierce strength looks like, how to live fully, love deeply, and face uncertainty with grace. Though our time with them was far too short, their lives mattered. They matter for every person fighting ALS. They matter for every family living in fear of this. They mattered because JC and Alex's testimony became a selfless act of love, a gift to humanity. We speak their names, JC and Alex, because remembrance is an act of love. And today we speak boldly for them because they no longer can. FUS ALS may have taken them from us, but it did not take their power to inspire. Progress did not happen in spite of them. It happened because of them. Let their legacy remind us that hope is stronger than fear, advocacy is stronger than silence, and one family's love can help change the world. We will keep fighting in honor of JC and Alex. Thank you to Project ALS, Charles River, and Ionis for standing with us in unwavering support and love. Because of you, this moment became a triumph of hope, and JC and Alex are remembered for the light they brought into the world. And now I am extremely honored to present the 5th annual Alex and JC Hermstead Trailblazer Award to a fearless and resilient champion. In loving memory of JC and Alex, it is my privilege to present this outstanding award to Melissa Diaz Vieira. Melissa is a licensed clinical social worker whose advocacy and lived experience have made her an influential voice in the ALS community. Diagnosed with ALS in 2023, she has contributed to research through clinical trials, observational studies, technology pilots, and multiple patient registries. She is active in several ALS organizations, including Her ALS Story, and serves as a NEALS Research Ambassador. Melissa is also a research operations coordinator at Project ALS, helping ensure patient perspectives guide scientific progress. In 2024, she joined the Les Turner ALS Foundation Support Services Committee, bringing her social work expertise to strengthen patient resources and provider education. Outside of her advocacy work, Melissa treasures time with her family and raising her 3-year-old daughter, Zaya. Today, through the Alex and JC Hermstead Trailblazer Award, we honor Melissa for carrying their legacy, embodying their courage, and in showing us how to face challenges with steadfast determination. JC and Alex didn't just walk this trail, they blazed it, lighting the way forward with hope for others to follow. We are thrilled to present her this award because their bravery lives on in Melissa's remarkable resilience, dedication, and hope she brings to this community every day. I am beyond proud and humbled to present the Alex and JC Hermstead Award to the amazing Melissa Diaz Vieira.
Thank you so much. I am inspired by those who have received the Trailblazer Award before me. Today, I accept this honor as part of a beautiful community of people trying to make the best out of a difficult situation. When I was diagnosed with ALS in February of 2023, I quickly learned that this disease is one of the most complicated ones out there. It was overwhelming to discover that I was diagnosed with something that had no treatments and no cure. But you see, I'm a social worker, and we are used to taking on impossible situations, putting together resources, and finding ways to make change. So I dove in, and I tried to learn everything I could about ALS. I connected with several patient groups and organizations. I decided that even if I couldn't be cured of ALS, I was going to learn about it, live my best life, and help as many people as I could along the way. 2 years ago, Valerie Estes asked me to join her on the research team at Project ALS. I was so confused. Me on a research team? What did I know that could possibly impact the work that they were doing? Valerie assured me that she saw something in me, and I decided to trust her, even if I didn't quite see it in myself. In the last 2 years, I've had the opportunity to work with researchers firsthand and see things go from an idea to a dish and through a complicated path leading to human trials. It is a grueling process that takes a lot of time and a lot of funding. Having to sit through research meetings as somebody living with this disease is not easy. I know things take time, but I do not have time. I wish that I could press the fast forward button. However, I know that with the time that I do have, I can help make patient voices be heard. That has been my goal with Project ALS and beyond. This has not been an easy journey for me. I am the mother of a 4-year-old, and even though ALS has slowed down my body, it feels like my life has sped up. I have learned many lessons about courage, perseverance, and community. I've seen what it's like when somebody takes a chance on you and helps you be part of something greater. One of the biggest lessons is that when it comes to ALS, every single one of us matters. Every single one of us has something to offer that can make a difference. The researchers who painstakingly study motor neurons to try and figure this out matter. The clinicians, therapists, and caseworkers who work to maintain a quality of life matter. The caregivers who run themselves thin, trying to take care of us and make us feel safe and loved, matter. The friends who keep us laughing, who wipe our tears, and give a listening ear when life gets a little too hard, matter. Those in our community that join committees and boards and panels to educate others and maintain services for ALS patients matter. Every organization, group, and individual that fundraises for our cause matters. Families struck by unimaginable grief that continue to raise awareness and move research forward matter. And every person living with ALS who courageously faces challenges, shares their story, joins clinical trials, and raises their voice, hands, or eyes to contribute to progress matters. So don't doubt your power. Continue to blaze your own trails. Hang on to each other, and let's cure this thing. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Melissa. You deserve this award for your wicked smarts and many talents. Project ALS is proud to know and work with you.
I have to echo that, Valerie. No one deserves it more than Melissa. And on that note, I can't wait to see what this year brings.
Yeah, you said it yourself, Erin. We're moving toward the finish line. The sequel to the origin story of the FUS ASO called JC Fusen is coming soon. Thanks again to the entire ALS community for your support, for tuning in. Thanks to our generous sponsors, Ionis and Charles River Labs. Please stay right where you are. We're going to watch a short video now to play us out. It's an important tribute and a meaningful send-off. For now, cowgirl up, and thanks again. Goodbye.
Growing up around horses and cattle and the rodeo industry, there's a saying that goes cowgirl or cowboy up, and it means that you take responsibility, you take the reins, and you ride through it, and you do not quit. You were given this life, this opportunity, this situation for a reason.
In the spring of 2018, a brave group of mothers who lost their teenage daughters to the devastating neurological disease ALS found strength in each other at this New York City event.
It was extremely emotional. These women were seeing each other for the first time, and there was a lot of joy and a lot of crying, and the stories were all the same. Their beautiful daughters were just taken in the prime of their teenage lives.
The event was hosted by Project ALS, the nonprofit founded by sisters Jennifer, Meredith, and Valerie Estes in 1998, when Jennifer was diagnosed with ALS at the age of 35. It was a chance for these mothers, still grieving, to hear about the progress researchers were making on FUS ALS, the rare, aggressive form of the disease that targeted their children.
FUS ALS not only starts early, but it also progresses very rapidly. It's a very aggressive form of the disease.
Dr. Schneider runs the ALS Center at Columbia University in New York. He is studying mutations in the FUS gene that can lead to early onset ALS.
What Neil and Project ALS wanted to do that day was to give the moms a sense that their daughters had moved science forward and that the gene that had affected them was being understood.
Lori Hermstead made the trip from Spencer, Iowa, with her 24-year-old daughter, JC. 7 years earlier, JC's identical twin sister, Alex, lost her battle to ALS at age 17.
Alex was such a strong individual, and it was devastating, and every day I wanted to take that pain and I wanted to throw it as far away as possible.
Growing up without Alex wasn't easy.
Come on!
But JC found joy in the moments she spent with her beloved horse, Bud.
JC was this very vivacious, lovely young woman, full of energy. Of course, the question immediately that came to mind was, does JC carry the same mutation that Alex did? And is JC at risk for developing the same disease that took Alex's life.
We always assumed that JC had the gene. We just prayed it wouldn't happen.
I think it's just so important for people to understand exactly what this disease is. It's not something that takes the mind. It's something that takes your body, and it is the closest thing to hell that anyone could ever imagine.
"8 years to the day after her twin sister died of ALS, JC received the same diagnosis.
Meredith got a text from JC's mother, Lori, that her ALS diagnosis was official. It was shocking. Meredith and Valerie lost their sister to this disease, and they just said, we have to figure out how we can fight this.
Project ALS is a nonprofit leader in ALS research, known for bringing the world's best scientists and doctors together to share data and develop potential therapies. It was time to mobilize a top-notch team for JC.
We knew we had, very, very little time. It was like working against a death clock.
With JC's symptoms quickly progressing, it's a race against time to save her life.
We called some ALS geneticists. Of course, we called Neil Schneider here in New York, who had already met the Hermsteads. And the gene therapy we thought about for JC is called ASO, antisense oligonucleotide.
The idea was to see if this therapy could slow or even stop the progression of JC's aggressive disease.
We didn't have the time to develop an ASO on our own. We needed something that was already available that we could essentially take off the shelf. And the obvious call to make was to Frank Bennett at Ionis.
When I found out about JC and her story, I shared it with my colleagues at Ionis, and they all approached me and wanted to know what they could do to help. So a number of our employees helped Dr. Schneider in developing the drug for JC.
Ionis had a drug, and Dr. Schneider was prepared to treat JC. But there are safety checkpoints on the path to personalized medicine. The Food and Drug Administration would require expensive, timely tests on the ASO drug before JC could receive it, and time was running out.
You can't just put an experimental drug into a human being, no matter how sick that human being is.
JC's team needed an expert in cutting through regulatory red tape to expedite the FDA approval process. Enter renowned toxicology expert Lauren Black.
We cold called Lauren Black, actually, because we had seen her oversee the regulatory process for this ASO for a young girl with a neurological disease called Batten disease. And we saw that she had sort of helped to move this through the FDA.
Lauren worked with her colleagues at Charles River Labs to push JC's drug through testing protocols quickly. The goal was to show federal regulators that the drug was safe enough to give JC, who needed it now.
JC was dying. So is it appropriate to do 50,000 experiments that are going to take 50 years when she only has maybe a month or two left of life?
Charles River Labs staff worked overtime, and on May 30th, 2019, the FDA gave the go-ahead for treating JC with JC Fusion, a drug named for a cowgirl who wouldn't quit.
There's no pathway to these kinds of therapies for devastating illnesses like ALS. You have to cut your own path.
Doctors, drug companies, regulators, the Hermstead family, and Project ALS came together with the same goal. And less than 4 months after her ALS diagnosis, JC arrived in New York City to receive her first dose of JC Fusion.
It's a 0% survival with ALS. And it gave us that glimmer of hope that we were praying for. Even knowing we didn't know the outcome, it was more than we ever had before.
There was no telling how the drug would affect her disease, but JC kept fighting nonetheless.
I'm in a disease that there's no hope. It's either you die or you die, and if I don't try, then you know that this is all I've got.
After 4 doses of JC JC returned to Iowa and continued her treatment. She was happy to be home, closer to Bud, and grateful for the team that rallied to give her a chance.
No parent should ever have to bury 2 children, and that's what they're fighting for. Keep me going and keep me alive. And I have this opportunity because so many people have fought for it, and they've done a phenomenal job.
There's a special windmill that JC would always take her horse down by this creek. We just feel so peaceful when we're there, and we feel like a little bit of JC and Alex are there with us.
On May 1st, 2020, JC Hermstead lost her battle to ALS at the age of 26.
JC Fusen is in all likelihood going to help other people with this same form of ALS. So we can't look at this as the end of a story, but the beginning.
Inspired by JC, Ionis Pharmaceuticals announced it will develop Fusen as a commercial drug for others with JC and Alex's rare form of ALS.
Even though our girls aren't here on Earth anymore, that we hope that through everything they have done to help fight for a cure for ALS, that they provide the beacon of hope for people who are waiting their diagnosis or are fighting.
JC inspired an unlikely team of experts to make a dent in her devastating disease by working together.
Where there's a will, there's a way, and thanks to JC, I now actually believe that when I say it.